Okay, so I'm kind of frantically recording a voiceover to this tutorial. So make a plane. Then you want to measure about 2.7 meters above it and make another plane. That's your ceiling. The other one's your floor. Add a floor material and a ceiling material because you should. And then kind of flip around it in a couple different ways. But basically, yeah, there you go. Get some textures for each. Make sure your ceiling tile one is literally just a ceiling tile, like not just one ceiling tile scaled up so that it looks like a bunch of ceiling tiles. And then now what you can do is kind of like add a carpet texture, and then make that one so it looks like a big carpet. And then you go to your ceiling tile texture, and you kind of do a bit with that too. Now make your actual walls. Just kind of add some cubes and make them look like walls would look. Here's a cool thing I did. I made it look like a kind of a bunch of weird T-shaped walls, which is kind of cool, I guess. Then you add in your other walls around everything, and so now you have kind of a backrooms thing. So make a material for your walls. Make sure you assign it to everything, or you can just join all your walls into one mesh, which actually makes things a lot easier. Um, and then once that's done, you can just go through, and you want to get yourself a wallpaper texture, of course, because it's wallpaper. Or you could just do the color yellow if you're lazy. Then you just hit U project from your not project from view, just do a cube project. And then you scale it up till it looks about right. And then you've got your wallpaper, and then you add in your camera angle if you want. You can uh, adjust some stuff. Now you add some loop cuts so that each ceiling tile is actually its own face, um, which um, not really good at doing voiceovers, am I? Because this actually takes a while in the time lapse. How was your day? Mine was pretty good. Readjust some things, do your loop cuts. Um, say how your day was in the comments. Now for your lights, just select where some lights should be, and oh, I'm ahead of myself again. Ignore this part. Don't do this yet. All right, select where your lights are supposed to be, and then basically you just add in your light textures, basically just an emissive material, or you could just add in an actual light texture like I did. But then I was actually a bit too lazy to actually UV unwrap every one of them. But I mean, you can if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. You should totally unwrap all of them if you are going to texture them. But I didn't. But I did later. I just didn't in that video. Now you add in your frame. It's basically just the last thing, but with a wireframe modifier, and you put on your material, make it look like a frame. And then bam, there you go. That's the frame. Here I'm trying to make it line up with the things. Use the knife tool for this. Don't do loop cuts. I was stupid. Also, keep in mind that if you don't do anything with your materials aside from just add textures, they're gonna be shiny. I recommend plugging them into the bump textures and turning the roughness all the way up for these ones. But the wallpaper can just be a really rough texture. Don't plug anything into the bump. Now I'm adding in some camera music shaking. I use the Camera Shakeify add-on by Ian Hubert. You can find it on robotsoup.com. I'll link that in the description. Um, Here I'm messing around with some shakes, but I decided to go for a kind of running movement. Um, and so obviously that looks a little ridiculous, but I mean this is sped up a lot. Now I make it. You just animate your camera to look like it's doing whatever the movement is supposed to do. The one I picked was Handycam Run, by the way. So now it kind of looks like I'm running through. I even made it kind of look like one bit where it looks like I should probably hit a wall. I kind of animated it so it looked like I bumped my shoulder into a wall, and got hurt and stopped for a second. Um, so there you go. Now it's pretty decent. That's basically everything.